Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So I wanted to come back and do this video of my opinion about this Bill Cosby situation. Wendy just last week had brought up that he is going for an appeal and that she feels he shouldn't get out or something like that and that he needs to shut up. And she actually really pissed me off during this whole ordeal when the stories first came out about Bill Cosby because she literally like just dragged him for filth, which and I just didn't agree with her. But just because we don't agree on him, I still watch her show. I still like Wendy overall, So I'm not one of the people from cancel culture who feel just because a celebrity or anyone says or does something I don't like, then I'm no longer a fan and they should be canceled and all that. I don't believe in that crap. So anyway, I still watch Wendy, but I did not agree with anything that she was saying pertaining to him, and she was pissing me off. Okay. Plus, one of the things that she did that really pissed me off is she said his show should be canceled and taken off air for what he had done. Which I'm gonna get into my point to where I feel he personally didn't do anything, but she turned around and there was another show with like the Seventh Heaven guy and a couple of other ones where she was saying that the show should still be on air because those other people who were castmates of the individual who was in question didn't deserve to not get their residual checks or get revenue from the show not airing anymore. So I'm thinking like you didn't care though about these black castmates on Bill Cosby's show not receiving a check anymore and his show should be taken down. But now on these white shows, it should still air because the other castmates are innocent and deserve a check. That really, really pissed me off about her. But anyway, let me get to my Bill Cosby opinion. I believe that Cosby is innocent of the charges against him. I believe that he should not have even went to trial, let alone had been convicted and serving time in jail. And I'm gonna tell you why. First off, they never even showed any evidence of him committing the rape or something like that against these women. But furthermore, let's just get into what was stated and said about these women in these situations. He, as a grown man, invited women who were also grown to come to his hotel. These women willfully came to his hotel at all hours of the night or day, right? He offered them, of course, cocktails and, of course, drugs because that's what they do in Hollywood and even minus Hollywood. Your friends invite you over to parties to do exactly the same thing. Guys who you're dating invite you over to do exactly the same thing. And if we as women on our scale and level, even being younger than some of these women at the time that it happened, have been invited out to a party or been invited out to spend time with a guy, was offered drinks, and we decided on if we were going to have those drinks or not, was offered drugs, we decided for ourselves if we were going to take those drugs, and was offered to have sex, and we decided if we were going to have sex or not. So I just look at it as these are grown women. They were not drugged. I heard them stating that they were offered to take pills and that they chose to take them. So how did he drug them? No, he didn't. Secondly, they know better. If a guy invites me to a hotel room at 3 in the morning, I know darn well that ain't got shit to do with business. And if I don't plan on screwing him, I'm not going. So I feel that they're full of shit for that as well. Why are you as grown women lying and playing victim now talking about that you were drugged and raped when you stated yourself that you voluntarily came to his hotel and you voluntarily taken drugs? And then what I heard most of them say is they didn't know what happened after they so-called took these drugs that they voluntarily took. So I personally feel it was no evidence or reason for him to be convicted of a crime. And then we talking about stuff that happened 50, 40, 30, 20 years ago. I don't think it's right on any level, especially when you're looking at the fact that you had all these other men in Hollywood who had been accused of actual rape and abuse of women, real rape and abuse of women, true horror stories of things that women have had to endure for centuries and are still enduring now. And these men aren't serving time. But guess what? It's because they're white. That's why they're not serving time. But Furthermore, on top of that, I personally believe that it was just an attack on him. An attack on him. I believe that those women were paid to all say this. And I just believe that it was just a psyop attack on Bill Cosby to imprison him. But I know a lot of you guys, or some of you, may not believe in the order or the brotherhood or secret societies or things like that. But as Jay-Z said, it's a secret society. Always access trust, and then a week watch your arm freeze up and all that, right? These people in Hollywood that you idolize so much are part of an elite club that do things for favors, do things to get ahead, do things to elevate themselves in whatever career path that they choose in entertainment, whether that is athletic, musically, acting, or any of that. And I believe that they just decided, here, we the ones who opened the door and allowed you to get to where you are, and now we're going to take you down. And since he's a black man, they were able to take him down in a way that was much greater than what they can do to Weinstein, who really truly was using his power and position to harm women, who truly was actually raping women. But I actually don't feel he's guilty of everything. I heard in some of those instances, women were, he put it on the table where they were offered, here, if you want this role, do this. They would come to him asking for a role. Some of them, not all of them. That's why I say I believe he truly is to blame for and guilty of some of his crimes. But they would come to him asking and begging for a role. And then he would say, oh, okay, you know what? I'll get you to start leading this film if, you allow me to enjoy you. And those women obliged him, and he gave them the roles to that film. So I personally don't agree with those ones who are now coming saying, oh, yeah, well, I had sex with him for a role. Because I just look at it as, to me, that was a business deal. There was something in exchange. So I don't look at them really as victims. Like I said, when you have real, true victims of rape who are truly being abused in different ways. Because let me make this clear. All rape isn't violent, but to me, if you are not a child, you're not being manipulated into rape. It was clear those women could have easily said, oh, well, no, I'm not willing to have sex with you for this deal. For this role in this movie. And also, better yet, I'm going to go to my lawyer. They did not choose to do that. They wanted that role that bad that they were literally willing to do anything for it. He offered it to them for this price. They felt it was worth it, and then they did it. That's not rape. That's a business deal in this exchangement. So I don't feel that they should be allowed to press charges or call that rape. Like I said, when to me, rape is very, very serious, and that ain't rape. But anyway, back to Bill Cosby. He was taken down is because he's a black man, because he's a black man with influence, because he's a black man with influence and money, because he's a black man with influence and money that also is rich, and that is also smart. So that's why he was taken down. He had gotten up there in age. As we know that the white men always love to try and show that they are the ones in control and so-called have all the power. And they said, oh, okay, and we're going to take you down and show you who's in control and who has all the power. And I feel it's unfortunate that he has so many of his own people come up against him and literally just drag him for filth in the most ugly way. Like, screw white people. We know what they do. We know how fake and phony they are. We know how they use you, smile in your face while at the same time stab you in the back. We know how they will chew you up and spit you out. They don't owe us nothing. They've always have shown themselves to be an enemy to us. So I expect that from them, and I personally don't think that we should be that involved with them because of that, because of the level of betrayal and think that they do towards us. But his own people, we shouldn't have did that. When we heard them stories, that should have told you right there, like, you know what, sorry, you white women, we not rolling with you on that. And I'm not rolling with them on that. Bill Cosby is innocent of rape. He ain't raped nobody. Bill Cosby is innocent of using his power and position to try and make women feel indebted to sleep with him, because most of those women that came out talking that had either already had worked with him, but were not being employed by him or coming onto his show. So I just look at it as bullshit. He's innocent.